Imagine a league built by the people, for the people. A league dedicated to the economic development of your city. So the question becomes, how good are the 32 teams that play in the minor football league? Well, there's only one way to find out. You have to experience the MFL.
Welcome to another edition of Inside the MFL. I'm your host, Dr. Richard D. Myles Sr., CEO and Chairman and founder of the Minor Football League. It's a rainy Wednesday. I have a special guest today, along with I have a young man, Jacob. This is a young man that inquired about Inside the MFL, and what we did, we gave him an opportunity to come on the show. I know that shocked him. How you doing today, young man?
Today, Dr. Myles.
How you doing? Okay, and also this young man is still serving in the armed forces. I want to say thank you for your service, young man. I myself have 2 kids in the military myself. So before the rest of my guests come on and everything, one thing about me, I'm very mindful of people's time. It's raining out there, and I was running, coming from another meeting, but I want to make sure that the show kicks off. Tell MFL Nation a little bit about yourself, sir.
Well, like you said, my name is Jacob Carter. I'm originally from Nashville, Tennessee. I graduated in 2016, and after high school, I joined the United States Coast Guard, where I'm a culinary specialist. And I'm currently in Louisiana, but I'm actually about to start my move to go to Key West. So,
okay.
Whatever else you want to know, feel free to ask. I'm an open book.
Well, first of all, like I said, I'm impressed with young men like yourself when you're doing something other than, we tend to want to do certain things, but sometimes it doesn't pan out that way. So I told my son, when I asked him, I said, you want to go to college? Okay, you finish high school. What do you want to do? He said, well, Dad, I like to just take some time off. I said, no time off. He said, well, I want to get a chance to check things out. I said, nope. I had some friends of mine in the United States Marines, some recruiters. I called them, asked them to come by the house. I was not there. They came there, and he said, well, my dad's not here. They said, oh, no, we're here to see you. He said, what? So they got him out, took him in there. After there was history, and he tell you that now he had 2 Purple Hearts. He's been in both of the Afghanistan and over in Iraq. So I'm very blessed that he's back. He's home. I have 2 great grandsons and his wife, and my daughter also was a sergeant in the Army. So I'm glad that they are back home safely. Also, I wanted to get in. Let people know the MFL is the laboratory of change, meaning that we want to bring former players from the field to the front office. These are some of the things that we are really, we're a stickler for. We want people, because remember, our motto is beyond the field for you young guys, because you can't play this game forever. But also we want to understand all the other opportunities that's available to you in the minor football leagues, such as broadcast journalism, marketing, business, if you're in the sports management. So there's a lot of things here you can do, coaching, and, who knows, perhaps you can own a franchise here. That's the great thing about it here. And we require all the young men to do 100 hours of community service. So we don't just want them to see you on Saturday nights, game time. We want them to see you, in the community doing a lot of things, working with young people and, just all out, things that the MFL was known for. Now, I want to ask you this, young man. I know you was, and I tell people all the time, thank God for social media. But when you had the opportunity to go to the website, you started looking around. What was after you came across the MFL website? Tell me what was going through your mind after you looking through this.
At first I was shocked. I'd never heard of it. I know a lot of the leagues around the country, and the fact that I've never heard of it blows my mind. And then I was getting further into it, and the second biggest thing I saw was that you were putting teams or have teams in Africa. That was extraordinary to me. That's really cool, and I'm glad to see football expanding that much and that far. Really happy for you that your league is expanding that far. It's amazing. Other than that, I was just shocked. I've never heard of it, and I was like, this is a really cool opportunity that I didn't know was available to me, and I hope it's going to continue to be available to me, and we'll see where it goes from here.
Absolutely, and the MFL is, we want to give guys an opportunity that you don't generally find outside of college or professional football. A lot of guys in school 4 years, and for whatever reason, you're on these different college teams, you might not get an opportunity to play, but you get an opportunity to continue your career in terms of playing, whether you want to go to the next level or not. But as you was reading through and about us and stuff, and you start reading all this stuff, and I know you probably heard of these so-called leagues calling themselves semi-pro, which everybody know me to tell you there's no such thing as semi-pro. Either you're pro or you're not. That is just an ignorant term people use to justify saying like football, meaning you got older guys out there and got no business out there, should be sitting back like myself watching or doing something to help younger players to develop. But, we do have selfish people. But the MFL, when you've seen all the different components and seen what the league is about, how did that make you feel? I mean, what resonated through your mind? And you said, wait a minute, it's not just football.
I was actually really happy. I told you when we spoke on the phone, I was really excited about the 100 hours of community service. That's amazing to me. That's one of the things I love about the Coast Guard is, we're not only just a branch of the military. We also try to help out our community. We do a lot of things with local communities, help rebuild schools, help paint schools, stuff like that. And I enjoy that tremendously. And that's one thing that really stood out to me above all for your league was that you are very adamant about going and helping the communities around the teams and any other communities that are in need or whatever the case may be.
Absolutely. And we're about economic development. We're about enhancing what the community doing. I mean, you're part of the community. And the great thing about it, you have a problem. And what I mean by that is a good one, because here you're from Tennessee and right now you're stationed in
Louisiana.
Now, I talked to the GMs about you. I don't know if you had a chance to call them or they called you, but and I know you still got to fulfill your duties. I know, but next year you'll be coming back, right? So now, which one? I mean, you had a chance to organizations, and which one your dad and them gonna say? I mean, you come down to Tennessee and to find out that they have a MFL franchise there. What does it mean? And I know that both of the GMs are watching the show. I want you to know that, and we'll probably be getting something on. Tell them what position you play first and foremost, height, weight.
Well, I'm 6 foot. I'm 195 pounds, and I primarily play receiver. But I'm open to playing whatever helps the team win games, put the team in the best position. I'm willing to play. I know that's not really how it's done in the pros, but I'm adaptable. I'm versatile. I'll overcome and adapt to whatever you put me in the position that you need me to be in.
Well, the great thing about the MFL, we're gonna give you opportunity to play the position that you feel strongly at. We don't go both ways here. The rules are the same as the NFL. We want to get your best. And if you're a receiver, of course, you have good size for one. We like to see you there. But getting back to this situation between, Louisiana and Tennessee, when you looked at, I don't know if you had an opportunity to look at even apparel. So you kind of, let me just ask you that to get these GMs so they understand. Back to Tennessee, right?
I'm 90% sure I'll go back to Tennessee if I do end up getting out and playing ball.
But you know, the great thing about it, you're from there. And I know you have a lot of people probably watching the show, more people than you think, because, you know, it's not only you watching this locally, where you can see this around the world. And you're going to have a lot of people going to say, hey, man, we saw you on the inside the MFL. Back in Tennessee, it would be the gratification of playing home where you grew up at. I would think that would be something really big for you, as opposed to, not that it wouldn't be if you played in Louisiana. The GM is a really nice guy down there. He's watching, you know, but tell me, what would it mean to play back home where you grew up at and everything?
Oh man, to play back home, it'd be extravagant. I would be at a loss for words to have the opportunity to sign with the Tennessee Patriots. I would honestly be baffled at the opportunity. It would be amazing because, you know, mom and dad can come see me play. You know, my brothers, my sisters, they come see me play. Friends and really close friends, they could all come see me play. All in all, it'd just be extravagant. That's the only word I could think of. Yeah, I would be speechless. I'd be the happiest person alive, but, you know, I'd be happy no matter what, playing wherever I play.
And what better name than the Patriots?
Yeah.
What do you thought of that name? The Patriots down there in Tennessee. And even from the apparel on down, I mean, I know you had to say, wow, this, you know, this is some great stuff. And I know we was talking during the weekend, and you said you were sending your dad some stuff. I think that would be really cool, the fact that you can personalize the stuff as well. I think that would speak volumes for your community, and the fact that you're already doing something great now. You're serving your country, and as I say, if I sound like a broken record, because I mean it, you know, thank you for your job that you guys doing in the military. But more importantly, the fact that you're home and you're going to be playing, and everybody watching this, and then next year you'll be wearing a Patriot uniform down in the MFL Patriots down there in Tennessee. I mean, it has to be, you know, tremendous. Because I know when I was young, I'm from Washington, D.C. I always wanted to play with the Washington. Well, they call them the Washington team now. But it was the Washington Redskins, and that's something that I always wanted to do. But you know, things don't work out the way you would like them to. But even getting an opportunity to play was big. But knowing that you're going to play there, and I'm quite sure you can get a lot of calls from this broadcast. When you talk to people, and I don't know if you had an opportunity to talk to them, and you tell them about this league, I know they shocked themselves, but more importantly, the fact that you're coming home to play for a franchise in Tennessee. I mean, how big is that?
It's huge. Not only for myself, but for a lot of my friends back home. You know, they'll see, you know, I played, you know, a small ball college, and now I'm stuck working this 9-to-5 job or whatever. But now they have an opportunity to put themselves back into the game and get a leg up, foot in the door on a sports career, like you said, coaching, sports management, something of the sorts. It would be substantial. It would be a really good thing for me because, one, I get to play home, but I get the opportunity to continue that, hopefully in the state of Tennessee, in a further career, whether it be coaching or whatever.
You got all the respect of everybody because you're in the military, but imagine just added playing minor professional football in your community. And I know people just love that. I mean, just listen to you. You're very articulate, you're very sharp young man. I just like the fact that you're so down to earth and stuff. And this is what the MFL want in players. We want people about, you know, community. I mean, our motto is we tell everybody about the MFL, we want people to understand what we're about. And it's not just about sports. It's about the people that we're standing on their shoulders. And we want guys in the military. We used to get them all the time. And as you know, if you don't know, out there in Texas, there's a lot of military bases out there. A lot of military bases out there, and we've been getting a lot of calls, and that speaks volumes for me. That had you guys playing. Some of you guys are going to be away from home, but you get an opportunity to play professional football while you are doing it. I remember Franco Harris. Not Franco Harris. Rocky Bly had an opportunity. He served in the military. When he got out, they had the job waiting for him with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I thought that was great. And he won several Super Bowl rings. So, hats off to him. And believe me, we do take our hats off for the military. And many guys want to come out there and try out. We definitely will give them the benefit of the doubt in terms of playing. But getting back, the MFL is different. And it's different because, we who we are. We don't try to beat somebody else. That other league is the other league. We don't try to emulate them. We don't try to duplicate them. We who we are. That's why we've been around so long. And as you was reading, do everything, it's like a best novel book going to that website. I tell everybody that. When you look at it and you realize how long we've been around, it's kind of spooky in a way, right?
Yeah, like I said, I was shocked I never heard about it. I believe it's 28 years, correct?
Correct.
And I mean, I'm 23 years old and never heard about it. And like I said, I know a lot of leagues. I've looked into a lot of them. I've gone and watched a lot of indoor football leagues. Blows my mind and never heard about the minor football league. And I'm glad I have now. You have a wonderful league under your belt.
Well, thank you. You're so kind. But more importantly, we need young men like yourself to be a part of this. And we don't want no one that had that opportunity and did not have opportunity to play. And you always say what you could have, should have, would have done. You know what I mean? The MFL is here. So we don't want nobody when you're older, my age, and say, I wish I had an opportunity to play. At least just say to myself, I could do it or I couldn't do it. But at least give me the opportunity. And that's what the MFL provides. And I noticed that, most players like yourself, they so glass-eyed when they when we talk to them. And once they do their research on the league, and then I'm not saying it because, I'm the founder of the league, but it's kind of, it's breathtaking in a way. And I look at, we got some great people in the staff. Jamie Dukes, of course, he played in the league for a long time, used to host NFL Today. Bobby Wilson, the president, was the Redskins, the Washington team, #1 draft out of Michigan State, the last Super Bowl they won in '91. Fred Smoot. So we got people of that caliber. And then you talk about somebody like a Dr. Freeman that covered the NFL for 30 years. Now he's the owner of an MFL franchise. So you see, we make things obtainable to people. Now, as you see, and I know you saw, we have the dance teams. The dance team, every young lady that was in the MFL on the dance team, as they went to the Redskins, the Ravens and stuff, they made those teams because we had the look that they were looking for and the skill set. You know what I mean? So we're excited about that and more, and just giving people an opportunity to do what they want, be it broadcast journalists, be it marketing, be it sports management, these types of things that we get excited about because we're giving everybody that opportunity. And when you give people that opportunity, it's a great thing. It's a great thing. So, people like our GM down in Georgia, Mr. Chuck Barlow, doing a great job down there. Even the GMs up there in San Antonio, we got Dave doing a great job up there. So, Glasgow, we have a lot of GMs all over the country doing great jobs here. in Washington. I mean, you think about this league and think about, we don't say the potential is all that we're doing. So the potential, we don't worry about potential because we're beyond that. It's a league where you don't have to say, once it get his legs or it's get his bearings together, they're going to do this, that, this, and that. We already doing that. This is a league that I tell people, we are the laboratory of change. And as you know, even you in the military, you're doing a great job. If you had a son, you couldn't leave that to him. He could join, but you can't leave it to him to own. We want people to have ownership here. More importantly, we want people to support the league. We have everything. I mean, think about you playing down there from home. You're going to have everybody wearing apparel because you on the team. Then they got somebody they can identify with. Not somebody they see on a Saturday night, but somebody, he grew up in the neighborhood. He played at such and such a high school. He went to such and such a college. Now they have an opportunity to talk to you. I always say, it's hard to believe in something you can't see, feel, and touch, and you can communicate with it. And that's what the MFL doing. We giving people an opportunity. So when I talk to young men like yourself, I'm excited as you are, and most people, Doc, because that's what we want. We want young people to come in this league. We're going to give them the skills that they need to go on if that's what they want to do. And more importantly, we want them to feel like they are part of this league. We want the team, the family members, to the players and to the coaches feel like they're part of this. This is part of this happening. And, we always say, imagine a league for the people and by the people. Think about that. A league where no strings attached, where it's not, well, you got to know somebody. All you have to do is come and try out. And we're going to take the best people. We don't do cattle calls. If you don't know what that means, that's when you had these little leagues doing little tryouts, and they tell them, we'll call you back. No, we sign players that day. That day. And that's the great thing about it. Now you get an opportunity to do what you say, okay, I served my country. You did a great job there. Now it's time to do something for yourself. And now everybody can see an opportunity. You're playing and doing the thing that you're doing and helping your team perhaps win a championship. Because I know when you on there and you see that team that beats in the East from Washington and you see those championship rings, you say, oh boy, I got to get some of those. And just looking at stuff like that, I mean, how does it make you feel?
You're right. Those rings, I wanted all of them. They're all beautiful. No, absolutely. I mean, nothing would make me happier than to finally start pursuing my dream and playing at a higher level, and then being successful in that. Whether I am successful and win a championship, or even the fact that I made a team, that in of itself is a success to me. And utilizing that and carrying on into the rest of my career that I'm looking forward to doing, that's all I want.
And that's the great thing about it. And I tell everybody, this is a marathon. It's not a sprint. You come in the league and you take time. I know when I first, started this league, and the first minor league team was the Washington Chiefs, we won one game. One game. But it was a building process. We know this wasn't going to happen overnight. And so when people say, wow, they won a lot of championships, but that was over time. You think about the league been around 28 years. I mean, that was over time. So we got better and we got it better. And now that these teams, and this is going to be a strong league, and more importantly, the champion over here will play the champion over in Africa. Can you imagine that? The first World Bowl. Think about that. Not only you got to beat the best over here, now you got to beat the best over there. And I mean, when you think about that, and I don't want to sound like beating a dead horse, but when you think about that, wow, now you get a chance to match not only your skills against other parts of the country, but the different teams, franchises that, man, you're going to play the best from over in Africa. I mean, it kind of make you feel like, wow.
Oh, absolutely. It's got a lot of wow factor to it. I mean, when you said it, I was smiling. It's a really cool thing. And I mean, it'd be historic, it'd be absolutely huge, and you get a lot of viewership for that, for sure.
Yeah, viewership, and it's the change is now. The laboratory of change is now, and we're talking about going to Africa. Mr. Dr. Charles Olawole was going to be on. He's a commissioner over there for the MFL Africa, and he might jump on later. He might not. Just to hear him say it's a lot that we're doing over there because of COVID-19. As you know, things kind of slowed up. We did not go last year because I was concerned of young men like yourself and coaches and everybody. I want to make sure everything was safe. I had one shot, and I'm getting ready to take the other one in the middle of this month, which I'd be glad. I tested. I had some reservations about it, but in my mind, I know it was the best thing to do, and I did it. I'm not saying to people to do it because the MFL owner did it. No, I want you to do it if it makes you feel comfortable. You know what I mean? And at my age, you're young guys, so and especially for younger people too, because. And I'd say that to say most young people think they're invincible right now. Okay, that might be all well and good and let the older people get the shot. But think about if the young people catch it, then they're going to bring it to the older people, and that's something they're not thinking about. It's not intentional, but I just think that they realize a lot of people catch it. I have buried a lot of friends of mine and family members through this COVID-19. So I take it real serious, and I want people to be very careful. Getting back to Africa, I definitely would be remiss if I didn't talk about Egypt, Nigeria, these places that we are going. And believe it or not, people say, okay, soccer is big over in Africa, but remember, football is a universal. American football is universal. You'd be surprised that how many people over there know about American football. They just need it's just like anything else. It's around you a lot. You're playing it, so you repetition. And not only just bringing it there for the professional aspect of it, but we want to train the kids from, Pee Wee League up like they do here in America. We want to set that up in place. So now you got kids that have grown up and they understand the game more. You know what I mean? They understand the game more. They'd be excited about playing it. So this is, as I stated earlier, this is a marathon. This is not a sprint. So there's a lot of things we're going to go over, we're doing over there. And we're going to take our time just like we did here. Things are not going to happen overnight, although you have a lot of kids over there that went to school here in America and went back home, so they know the game, can play it. And as I stated, if you look at 2 years ago, the draft, all them kids, they went to Power 5 schools, but they were from Africa. You look at the names of them kids from Africa, them young men. So you can see the talent is definitely there. It's just a matter of cultivating it and getting it together. And I don't think it's going to be as hard as a lot of people might think over here, because we're taking the best guys over there to train them. We're going to take former players that play in the league and the NFL, not just this league, and we're going to teach them the fundamentals of the game. If you athletes, athletes are athletes. It's just a matter of teaching them the concept and teaching them certain things like the tree and different defenses and the tackling techniques and stuff. So we're excited about that, and more importantly, teaching them the game. And it's not going to be a bigger stretch as people think it's going to be, because, like I say, they understand and they know the game. It's not like they never, it's dunce to them. They very knowledgeable of the game, and after talking to a lot of people there and here, they really excited about it. More excited than people over here think. They are excited about that, and more importantly, they're going to own these franchises. So we're not taking franchises over there to play and come back here. These franchises are being owned by people in Africa. What do you think about that?
Like I said earlier, the expansion into Africa is amazing. You pointed it out and it made me realize, you're right. There is a lot of talent that does come from Africa, like a lot of athletic talent and a lot of fundamentally sound talent, because, I mean, you see it in the NBA. There's a lot of African talent. You see it in the UFC. There's a ton. I think there's 3 Nigerian champions right now. That's incredible.
Right.
And I think this year, one of the top linebackers in the draft, he's from African descent. Like, it's amazing to think about. Like, there's already some talent coming there, but being able to get a league over there, getting professional players over there to coach and teach the fundamentals and bring up those players that don't really know a lot, but they're just athletically inclined. Expanding that far and getting those young kids up, it's really going to benefit a lot of people. I think it's an amazing thing.
And a whole brand new market, it's
Absolutely.
a whole brand new market. And, now we can't leave out economic development, the jobs where there are no jobs, you know what I mean? And as we stated, they no different than us. They don't want no tokenism. They want an opportunity to show what they can do. Now you bring in monies from other countries over there because everybody gonna want to. And I stated earlier in the show, man, thank God for social media, huh?
Absolutely.
The game, you'll be able to watch the game on your phone. Think about that. You'll be able to watch the game on your phone and you stream it. So, and the great thing about us, we have our own entity. The MFL is a brand. You know what I mean? It's a brand. And we're big enough to do some great things there. And a lot of people, and you might have seen this, and I think I mentioned to you, we the brand is even bigger because you're looking at the MFL. I also own the National Minor Football League. You might have seen that logo up there too. So we will have another league as well. So, and what that does, give even more people opportunity because, as you know, it's so big over here, and a lot of people are like, wait a minute, Dr. Myles, you leaving this part of the country over here that you're not. No, we see you, we hear you. We're not going to abandon you, but sometimes you have to set things up, and as I always say, you have to crawl before you walk. You know what I mean? Although we've been here a long time, we want people to get used to it. You know what I mean? They don't have to tell you the NFL stopped playing and people just going crazy until it start again. And then they keep brainwashing you by playing reruns of the games. Then the NFL Network, I mean, you got to give it to them, NFL Network. How many times you be watching old games? Tell the truth, right? So
all the time. NFL Network is on right now.
There you go. And then that's what we're going to do with the MFL, but we'll spread it out in more areas, just like over here. It eventually be 32 teams again here. But the great thing about it, it'll be a different league, all owned by me. You know what I mean? Then we'll go to another country and put half of it in another country. So this is what I foresee in the future. That's why we tell people the laboratory chain. We even got our footprint on another country now. We don't want to say it right now because we don't want the cat out of the bag. And as you know, there's other parts of the country here that everybody say you didn't come to California, you didn't come to Boston, you didn't come to. We know what places we did not go. We might want to go to Denver, Colorado. Different places there. But we coming. But that's the great thing about it. You want to get everything out. It's called what you doing. You getting all your ducks are lined up. We want people to start getting apparel and getting excited about it, and actually understand what the MFL is about. And it's not just about football. And I think I told you, I don't want. I tell people all the time, athletes are not role models. Your mother and your father, that's your role model. And people that make an impact in your life somewhere down the line, that's your role models. Because you know why? They're more unlikely to do something that to disappoint you. Not saying that they would not do it, but I think when you put athletes on this pedestal and you see the things that athletes are doing, then people go crazy. But they forget these are athletes, these young men like yourself. You just put them on the stage, you gave money and stuff, and they're going to be themselves. So why would you try to crucify a person that you put up there? Makes sense what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You know, and that's the thing that always bothers me about what people do with athletes. They want to make them big as light, but in reality, they just human beings just like us. And it's hard to be perfect in an imperfect world. So I say to people all the time, they're not the role models. They're really not. They make mistakes. They're human. They have families. They have their downfalls like everybody else. But you want them to be perfect because that's what you see. You see the money. You see, and that's why I tell people all the time, everybody understands the glory behind anything, but they don't know the story behind it. And what the MFL do, we tell the story behind these. When you come in, when you sign the MFL, you're going to have people from the MFL doing stories on you. We want the people to know you. We don't want to know the facade of you. You know what I mean? The facade, that can be made up. But we had so many people that come to us and say, look, we want to do a hard knock show. What would you charge us? How much can we pay you to do it? And I said, no, you're not going to exploit these guys like that. We're not going to do that. You know what I mean? You look at and I'm quite sure you've seen it before, hard knock. These guys right there, just right there. You're doing everything they're supposed to do, and they still don't make it. And it's disheartening for some of them. I think that that's something to be on the real side. You want to see guys really strive to do something, but I don't think that's necessary. But the MFL, you're going to make this. You know what I mean? Because we're not giving you an opportunity where it might be 10 spots open on the team. You know what I mean? We're going to have 60 spots open per franchise. 60. Now, we're not taking everybody, but we're taking just about everybody. Everybody having a shot at this. And when you think about that, it cuts the numbers down. What is it? 1 in a 20 million that you'll make an NFL team?
Some crazy number like that.
Crazy number like that. So you know the odds against you already. But you got a chance to be signed. Now, we're not saying that you don't have ability and stuff, but we're going to give all military people the benefit of the doubt. You deserve it. And you're an athlete too. It's not like we just putting you out there. We are developing all players. And you said, and a lot of guys talk to me all the time, Dr. Myles, all I want is an opportunity. That's all. That's all. I can 5 or 6 years later and away from now, I consider myself, I did it or I didn't do it. But I did not leave no stone unturned. And that's what most people want. And I guess you're no different. You just want an opportunity to play.
Absolutely. That's all I want. It's just a chance to play at a higher level and prove that this whole, like a lot of people have told me for many years, like, you're not good enough, man. Like you didn't really play in high school. You're not good enough. And it's great. It's just fuel for the fire. I'm just gonna keep grinding, and I'm gonna give it where I want to be. That's all that matters.
Well, a person don't go far will never know how far they can go. That's just some little advice from me. And I tell people, if you look at their history, like we said, we want to tell a story. Now, you might be a little young, but you can research it. Research the name Eric Swan. Played with the Phoenix and Arizona Cardinals. He didn't go to college, but he made All-Pro maybe every year he's been in the National Football League. Think about that. A guy named Herb Mulkey played with the Redskins. So you see, or the Nigerian Nightmare, Kansas City Chiefs. He didn't start playing American football until he got over here in college. So see, you look at, never let somebody tell you what you can do. Only you know what you can do. And that's just like people goes to a movie and they see it before, you ask, how was the movie? Oh man, that movie was terrible. And you go see it, you might not go see it because based on what they said, but you go see the movie, it's the greatest movie you ever seen. Because we all different, right? We're all different. If this world, everybody was the same in the world, can you imagine what kind of world this would be, really?
Be interesting.
Yeah. You never thought about that, right? I mean,
No,
come
I
on.
haven't.
And I tell people all the time, it's hard to be perfect in an imperfect world. We're not perfect by no means. So for people to think that they are, no. For people thinking that, oh man, my life is, I'm a bummer. I played college, didn't get a chance to play a lot there. Man, that's not true. That's why the MFL is here, the laboratory of change. We want to give you the opportunity. We say that you can play this opportunity, you can play in this league, and we're gonna give you opportunity. We're not gonna shun at you and say, yeah, well, we this and that. You might be one of the best players ever played in this league. Might kind of set all kinds of records. A system is a system. And people don't understand. The great thing about this, we are giving you the opportunity to fulfill your dream. But you can say, I did it. I did it. All your naysayers would be saying to you, oh, I knew you could play. Now I just wanted to see what you were. You know what I mean? And I tell people all the time, you have three people in your life you have to be very mindful of. And a lot of people say, what do you mean? When I'm also a dean at school, I teach. I tell them 3 people in your life you have to be very mindful of. And this for MFL Nation as well. One, your family member, your significant other, they will be supportive of you no matter what you do. Am I right or wrong?
Absolutely right.
They're going to be there for you. Number 2, you got that curious person. Now, one of them or several of them there. They don't know anything about you, but they're just curious about you. And the best part about that, you can take them either way because they just curious. They do not know. Number 3, more importantly, you got that hater. You ain't did nothing to them. You might be better looking, like that. You might do things better. You might dress better. You might be a people person. Everybody like you and nobody like them, and they don't understand it. They just can't stand it. But the sad part, he hates you so much that he gonna come and see you play. You know why? Oh man, yeah, he was dropping passes out there, man. And yeah, let me go out there and see this guy. You go out there, you just show up and show out. And you know what? He's still mad. Oh, he was just lucky, man. We're gonna go back tomorrow. I'm gonna see the next game what he do. But the great thing about that, he's gonna keep coming because he want to see you fail. And you're not going to fail. But you see that mentality he had, see what it did to him. But he come to see you. And I tell people all the time, be very mindful of who in your life, always be very mindful of, and the people you keep, or the company you keep. Because, this league right here, I'm so excited about it. When I talk to young men like yourself, I ask them, and I talked to you a couple of times, you say, Dr. Myles, I'm going to the gym and work out. Because this is a collision game. I tell people all the time. In your body, you got to be in football shape. You don't come ready, you be ready. Football. And I like that about you because you're in the military and you work out. And there's a lot of guys realize that they think natural ability to come out there, you don't work out enough like that. No, you got to be in football shape, football body. Because you're going to be, this is the only game I know you can really play and can't go through the game without getting hit. Because you're going to get hit. You're going to block somebody going to hit you, or somebody going to tackle you. It's as simple as that. That's football. That's what the game is about. And, and I constantly talk to people And I tell them all the time, we want to teach, you know, the right fundamentals to people. I have people I'm on, people show all the time. And you know, the first thing they ask me, a lot of my kids, I don't know if I want my kids to play the game. Football is dangerous. Have you heard that? I know you heard that a lot, right?
I hear it all the time.
In the USC, isn't that dangerous? Kicking people in the head. You elbowing
Boxing
people, right?
is very dangerous.
Boxing,
Every sport is dangerous.
Basketball is dangerous. They only got on shorts. When you jump up in the air and somebody undercut you, you can really break your neck or something. Football, at least you have equipment on. You can get hurt walking your dog. You know what I mean? So when I tell people, you know, if your kids want to play it, go with them, encourage them, make sure they learn it properly. Because if you don't, you know what happened. They're gonna go play it anyway, and they probably be around somebody that didn't teach them, you know, the basic fundamentals. And when they get hurt, then you're mad. And if it don't work out for them, you can always say, okay, he had an opportunity, it didn't work. But to tell kids, I don't want them to play because it's dangerous. I can look at 100 sports and tell you that's dangerous. What are your take on that, young man?
No, I agree. Every sport is dangerous. Everything that you do every day is dangerous. You take a risk walking outside and walking your dog, just like you said. Everything that you do is dangerous. Football is a dangerous sport. However, like you said, you're protected. I mean, look at Kevin Ware when he was playing for Louisville. Dude's leg turned into an accordion. Basketball is dangerous. Soccer is dangerous. Hockey, super dangerous. I mean, dude had his throat slit open so many years ago. I mean, I don't agree with not letting your kid play because you see it dangerous. I think you just got to let your kid do what he or she wants to do. It's their life. They're gonna want to enjoy it the way that they want to enjoy it. And if their enjoyment comes from playing football, playing basketball, swimming, tennis, bowling, whatever it is, you got to let them do it.
That's so eloquently put, and we got to understand. And you in the armed forces, that's very dangerous. And you know, you guys are out there, you know, protecting this country. But so when I hear people say that, it kind of make me mad. And then I look at it, I said, well, you name another sport will pay you that kind of money. You know what I mean? And you ask people would they do it again, and even people, you know, got hurt playing the game, they'll tell you yes, they'll do it again. Because, you know, football is a sport. That's why it's a sport. You know, and people go because what? They want to see the collision. They want to see the hit, right? They want to see the spectacular catch. You know what I mean? They want to see the big runs. You know, that's what people come to see. That was excites them. If the game is boring, the people you know, but people come there because also something my head high school coach told me, and it never dawned on me until he said it. And I think I was a junior in high school, and he said, y'all should take this, let it sink in, and understand a lot of people can't do what you're doing. They talk all they want, but they will be out here. Or they would try, you had people come out here and couldn't make it. So don't take what you're doing lightly, because a lot of people can't do this. A lot of people wish they were you all. A lot of them don't have the guts to do it, the talent to do it. And you know, for the friend, that really sunk into it set with me, because I say, wow, I never thought about that. I took it for granted because the ability, the God-given ability that I had and what you had, a lot of people can't do this. And we take it for granted. Now, even now that I've mentioned that to you, I can tell when the way you like, ooh, you know, a lot of people can't do that. A lot of people can't catch a pass. It sounds simple to us because we take it for granted because we can do it. But a lot of people can't do that. And I tell people all the time when they always say, I wish I had this or I wish I had that. No, I remember guys used to always say, man, I wish I was his size. I would be doing, no, you wouldn't. You'd be just as size as he is. I'm thank God for my size, my ability that I have. Because when you think about it, we always talk about what we don't have. We forget about the blessing that we do have. You know, you were born very articulate, intelligent young man, handsome young man, and the world is at your feet. That don't necessarily mean you got a whole bunch of money, but then you don't need it. You look at people that's blind, people with handicaps. Oh my God, come on, think about that. But we was blessed to have a healthy body, healthy mind, and sometimes I think we forget. And I learned, even when I was young, that man, I thank God, that we could just get up in the morning. I thank God that we wake up in the morning because it could have been the other way. See, a lot of people don't think about that because we're too busy to think about things that really not important. Or people tell you, they might told you, and they tell me, they say, man, I'm so tired, Dr. Myles. I said, when you're dead, you get all the rest you want. And he looked at me. I said, I don't mean, be so blunt, but when you're dead, you get all the rest you want. You ain't got to worry about bills. You ain't got to get up to go to work. You ain't got to worry about getting up to do any problem that you have now. You don't have to worry about it because you're gone. But when you say those things to them, it make people stop and wonder and think about it. But we are so blessed in what we're doing. We're so blessed. And I say that to say, and MFL Nation, y'all know I'm a chaplain. If I get to preaching, don't, Dr. Myles preaching again. But, and it just, especially for a young man like yourself, you think about it, how blessed we are. Sometimes we forget. Am I right or wrong?
Oh, absolutely. I'm guilty of it myself. I've looked at people on TV and be like, man, if I was 6'6", where would I be? And I'm just like, I've told myself I got to stop because, like, when I graduated high school, I was super small. I was 5'10", 5'11", 115 pounds. And I've built my body to where it is now. And it kind of makes me mad because it's like, why are you putting in all this effort if you're going to just continue to wish this, that, and the other? So I get what you're saying. I was smiling while you're talking about it because it made me realize that I'm so guilty of it. I do it all the time, and I need to stop.
You have a God-given ability, and we neglect that because we so worried about what we don't have. And I like you, when I came to high school, I was 165 pounds, 15 years old. I might have been about 5'11", though. But I, like they say, if they don't bite when they're puppy, they won't bite. I was I was always too tall or way too much to play boys club ball. I'm a Catholic, and Catholic school, you couldn't be too tall. You had to be right. I mean, it just pushed that. I was so mad, and I got to high school. I just had a chip on my shoulder. I was 165 pounds. But like I told them, I'm not here to just be on the team. And the high school that I made, they had just come off winning the city championship. Cardozo High School. They had 200 and some guys out there for the team. 200. But I had something on some of them that they didn't know. The coach came to recruit me in my junior high school. You know what I mean? And I had a chip on my shoulder, and everybody, why are you coming so hard? I said, because I'm trying to make this team. I'm not out here just to be out here. You know what I mean? And I made it as a freshman. And then too many freshmen make that team. Played the playoff. I played against great guys that went on like myself before me in college and everything. And man, it was just, and I had guys around me that used to take me under their wing, was in high school, that was real good because they thought I was going to go to their high school, but I went to another school. But anyway, but I just want to say to MFL Nation, it's young men like you, Jake, that we just, make the MFL smile, and we're excited about you, and we can't wait till you finish your commitment. We definitely, contract will be waiting for you. down with the Tennessee Patriots, and believe me, our GM on and stuff. You have a chance to see you, and we're excited. I mean, you tell your friends and the ones that gonna stay here on this side of the country or wherever you be transferred at. But you know, this is a league of not second chances. This is a league of first chances. You know, this is a league that appreciate young men like yourself and the talent y'all had, and we won't give you an opportunity to play. And we're about giving people that opportunity, and that's all people want. And we're glad to give you that opportunity. Like I say, you have to worry about Louisiana, because I know I'm gonna make sure the GM call you and talk to you, great guy. But I want to thank you for being on our show today, young man, and look forward to meeting you in person. Thanks for coming on the show. This has been another edition of Inside the MFL. I'm your host, Dr. Richard Myles Sr., CEO, Chairman, Founder of the Minor Football League. We'll see you on Friday. Thank you, young man.
Thank you, Dr. Myles. Have a wonderful day.